You may not have a budgeting problem. You may actually have a human problem. Most people think saving money is all about math, but it's really not. It's about habits, emotions, and discipline. And to be honest, discipline isn't something that you just magically wake up with. So let's fix that. Here's how I have trained myself and hundreds of others in my accountability group to actually save money and to stick with it. First things first, we need to understand why saving feels hard. The reason it feels hard is that your brain is wired for instant rewards and not delayed gratification. So spending money on things gives you a dopamine hit right away, whereas saving money does not. So that money that's growing inside of your TFSA, you don't feel it growing, so it doesn't really do anything for you. Whereas you do feel that Amazon delivery that comes in 2 days. So when you feel stressed or bored or anxious or tired, and what your body is craving is a dopamine hit, your first idea becomes that, oh, maybe I should spend money on something. So to overcome this, I would say that the trick is to make saving feel very rewarding as well. And one way to do that is by naming your accounts. So what I have is about 8 different accounts. I have my travel fund, my house fund, my car fund, my everything fund basically. And I do this for every single goal that I want to achieve in life. So instead of just having a general savings account and having everything lumped there, you can have different savings accounts and you can call one Bali 2026. Doesn't sound sweet? Freedom Fund, First Home Fund. You know, those sound sweet. And what it does to you is that it makes your goal feel very real. And when your goal feels real, it hits different. When you have your money in your My Future Home Fund, you're going to think twice before you just transfer money out of it to go and buy McDonald's or go out that night. Next step, I think it's important to identify what your triggers for spending are. After all, we are mere humans who get triggered by things. And I think it's very important to know that and try to reduce said triggers. For example, some people know that their trigger is boredom. They know that when they are scrolling through social media at night and an ad pops up, they're more likely to go down that rabbit hole that will lead them to making an impulse purchase. To avoid this, what you could do is you could remove your cards from Apple Pay. You could remove your saved cards from your Amazon account. Anything that is a barrier between you and spending will help you. So first identify the trigger and then put a barrier to make it a bit harder for you to actually spend. Some things that I did was I realized my trigger was newsletters. Anytime I saw a sale in a newsletter for one of my favorite brands, I just had to go on that website to shop, even though I literally did not need any more clothes. So what did I do now? I unsubscribed from every single newsletter possible. It's a bit sad because I miss out on some stuff now, but my pocket is definitely thanking me. On that same note, I think it's important to remove the temptation as much as possible. As I just said, we are just mere humans and we are not going to develop superhuman willpower. So that's why I actually automate things. What I do is that on payday, my money is moving automatically. So when the money comes into my checking account and then part of it goes to saving, part of it goes to investing, and part of it goes to spending. So if I never see that money, then I do not have time to spend that money. The money that is left in my checking account is what I can spend, but everything else is not able to be spent because it is already gone towards my other goals. Next, I think it's important to track your wins. People quit saving because they feel like it's not working fast enough. But if you track your progress, even $50 a week starts to feel like momentum. So you can literally look at your banking app. Neo Financial has a really good graph that shows you how close you are to your goal. And then you'll feel proud, like, oh, I'm 80% towards the goal that I set for myself. This makes sure that your dopamine works for you instead of working against you. And fourth, I think it's important to leave space for fun. So saving doesn't necessarily mean that you stop living. What I use is a conscious spending plan by Ramit Sethi. And in this plan, I decide how much I'm going to spend on fun things. Not if I'm going to spend, but how much I'm going to spend. Because what happens often is that your budget feels very restrictive and then it feels like punishment. And because it feels like punishment, you start to rebel. And spending is how you rebel. So I think it's important to just make sure that your budget does not feel like punishment and add in fun into your budget. Finally, it's important that you connect your saving habits with your identity. One thing I hear pretty often is people saying, I'm bad with money. And when you say that you are bad with money, your brain starts to follow the story that you start to tell it. So if you continue to say you're bad with money, you are going to continue to be bad with money. I like to instead tell my brain good stories. I like to say, I am somebody who saves. I am an investor. I am good with money. Once you start to make this shift, you'll see that saving no longer feels like you're depriving yourself, but instead it feels like you're in control of your money. So if you have ever struggled to stick to a budget, realize that it's not because you are lazy or you're incompetent or you're bad with money. It's because you've probably been fighting your biology instead of just working with it. So what we're gonna do is we are going to get those dopamine hits to work for us. You're gonna start small, you're gonna start being consistent, and you're gonna watch how fast your habits transform. So my one takeaway from this video for you all, I want you to set up an automated transfer from your checking account to your savings account now. Like, pause the video, do it now, and then come back and let me know that you did it. And this will really help you to just feel like you are making progress towards your goal. So if anybody else has tips that have been helpful in allowing you to stick to your budget, please let me know. I would really enjoy that, and I think it would be helpful for other people in the comments to learn what has worked for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.